Pittsburgh Steelers fans, it is time once again for another episode of You Know It. It is the Steelers Q&A. Jeremy Betz is off this week. Well, we're getting ready for the new year, so you have me, Bryan Anthony Davis, for the second week in a row here from Steel Curtain Network, and I am so excited to have a guest that I have been following online, a Steelers content creator that I think is absolutely fantastic. We are going to give her a warm Steel Curtain Network welcome. It's Dee Loves Sports. Dee, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, man? How are you? Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I feel warmed and welcomed.
I'm so glad to be your source of warmth here. And because I tell you what, it's going to get cold for the Pittsburgh Steelers. When I say cold, because they're on a hot seat, but they're going to go through some very chilly teams. When I say chilly teams, it's going to be a chilly reception on the road in the Emerald City in Seattle and in Baltimore, M&T Bank Stadium, where I liken it to hell.
I love the bank. I mean, the last couple of times I've been to the bank, we've gotten W's. So I love depositing L's in M&T Bank. And Seattle, you know what? We don't have the best of luck out there, but it's going to be interesting.
So I have one of our new content creators here at Fans for Sports Network, Nay, who has 12 Shades of Nay, which will be debuting very soon on Fans for Sports Network. I can't wait to talk to her about the Seahawks, and she proudly wears that 12. This is a tough place for the Steelers to play. They've only won in Seattle once, and unfortunately, I'm old enough to have watched that with my dad. I think I was 11 years old. 1983.
Long time. It's been a long time. Tomlin hasn't had success there. It's, we beat Seattle last year at home, so we know, and then that game went into overtime, if I'm correct. So, it's been, was it last year? It was last year, right?
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago? Okay, I was at that game, and it just felt like it was never ending because Gino was out there, so it had to be last year.
It was 2 years ago, and the significance of that game was Russ was still on the team. And what happened with that? Yeah, Russ was still on the team, but he was hurt.
Oh, he was hurt. You're right. Russ was hurt. He did not play. You're absolutely right. Okay, so it was 2 years ago. I remember.
The significance of that game was it was the very first 17th game. So it was the first game for the Steelers playing a rival from another division that they don't usually play in that year. And I think they were a second place schedule taking on the Seattle Seahawks, but TJ went nuts.
TJ went nuts in overtime. He did. I actually saw the clip last night. He went crazy. Oof, man. Oh, it was, and Devin Bush was on the team, and he recovered the strip sack or whatever it was. That happened.
And he's making a lot of noise this week.
Yeah, of course. Why not? Why
as a Seahawk? So hey, we've got a lot to talk about, but first, with somebody new to Steel Curtain Network here, Dee, I would love to ask you about your Steeler fandom, how you became a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and how you celebrate your fandom. What is a typical Steeler game day with Dee?
Oh man, where do you want me to start? So I'll talk with the fandom. I don't really relate to that word anymore, but I was at one point very much a fan. So it started really, really young. My dad was a Steelers fan. From when I was a child, decided I liked the Cowboys. I didn't know any better. So as I developed, learning and just being a real life human being that has morals, I decided to be a Steelers fan. So no, so I transitioned over. When we moved to Maryland, a lot of people ask me like, why don't you like the Ravens? Well, when we moved to Maryland from Virginia, the Ravens actually weren't here. So, Steelers was just my household team. And as I began to understand that there was a legit rivalry, even when I dated guys that were Ravens fans, my dad were like, ugh, why? Like, can you find somebody else? So, there was always that tussle. I just really couldn't be a Ravens fan in my house. So Steelers is what it was. And it's been that for a long time. And I've always been extremely passionate. So I used to be the crazy fan that goes in there and yells and acts crazy and talks trash, but I have matured and I have become what I call myself a loyalist now. So I'm a loyalist because I'm going to ride with these guys, whether it's good or bad. I'm not going to talk a whole lot of trash about the individual players. I leave that for the fans. So I've kind of transitioned from a fan to a loyalist, and the media bug bit me, and I've begun to create content. So for an every day with me going to a Steelers game, I'm usually at all the home games. I do a prediction video game day. I go out to the tailgate. Shout out to Renegade Tailgate. We have a good time over there. If you're ever there, go out to they're over by the Carnegie Science Center. Go check those guys out. Lenny and Cindy, they throw an amazing tailgate. And then we go in. I go in pretty early. I like to watch the guys when the second level of warm-ups when they're dressed, and kind of see all the old players that come in, and Art and how he goes and greets his people. And I just like to watch interactions. I always try to sit behind the team bench because I learned so much from those interactions that you just don't get to see on television. Communication is a big thing with football. So when I see guys communicating on the sidelines when they're not on the field, it tells me something about the relationships on the team, how they're feeling about what's going on. So I learned so much just watching the guys when they're not on the field, more so than what you see on television. So that's a bit of the games to me. Hopefully they win, and when they do, it's great. And when they don't, there's a lot to talk about. So yeah, that's a gist of a game day with me.
Absolutely. I don't get to many games, but I was at both Thursday night games in the
Oh yeah, awesome.
last
We
2 months.
were wait, we won one and lost the other. Yeah.
Yes. So it was my son's first game when they won against the Tennessee Titans, and then I was at the New England debacle. But
Yeah.
we'll blame Mitch for that. I know
My
you don't
God.
want. I know you don't want to talk trash on players, but I'm mad at Mitch right now.
A lot of people are, and I mean, look, the defense allowed 20 something points. Like I think the defense stood tall in the second half, but we just couldn't get out of the hole. So I think Mitch tried. It is what
I
it is.
I I will give the defense a pass on the second touchdown, just for the
Yeah,
fact that interception really put him at the 16-yard line. But
yeah,
I
yeah.
digress.
It was tough.
Let's go ahead and get into it. We're
Mhm.
starting to see a lot of people filter in here, and hey, get your questions ready. This is the Q&A. This is your show, so let us know what you want to talk about for both Bad and D as we get started here. Throw those questions in. Now, I'm going to start with the questions. D, I'm going to go ahead and put you on the hot seat here. And
Oh,
so the big question is, it is at quarterback. We just talked about Mitch. We know Mitch is not
uh-huh.
playing this week.
Mhm.
Who, in your mind, do you think gives the Steelers the best chance to win behind center or in shotgun this week?
Um, that's a tough question because I think that from what we saw from Mason, I think he did a great job. He did a great job. And I don't think that Kenny can't do that. And that's really hard for me to say. I think that if Kenny's not 100% healthy, he says he is. He says he could go. Then you go with Mason. I think Mason is capable, and if for some reason Mason says he's not capable, I don't know if Kenny is dressing. I don't know if he's inactive yet, but we know that Mason's QB number one, right? So depending on what that looks like, if Kenny is active and dressed, then if something doesn't go left or right, then maybe you put in Kenny. But I think Mason has earned a right to go out there and push this team for see if he can continue to push this team forward.
All right. So there are a lot of questions about the quarterback. One of the founders here, one of my partners, Dave Schofield,
Yeah,
asked who's
Dave.
the QB2 this week. Do they dress
That's
Kenny? So do
that
you
is my
think
that's my question. Yeah, we don't know yet, right? But if they do dress Kenny for QB number two, that's going to get interesting. And thank goodness this game is not at home, because if Mason somehow went out there and didn't do well, that crowd would be crying for Kenny. That's what they do.
Eric Askew asks, do you guys think the Mason hype is too much after only one game?
I think it's a lot of things that Steeler fans do is too much. So like maybe, but also it was a great game. Like it was the first full game where both sides of this team on every level of this team played well. That was great. So if the hype is big because it was a complete game, I'll take that. We haven't had that. We haven't even scored 30, points uh in what 2 years now, over 30 points in like two seasons or so. So like if that means it's too much hype, I'll take it because it's something that we hadn't seen. If we go to the game two and we just dud it, then we'll be back to reality. But I think the hype is warranted, just given it's something that we hadn't seen in a long time.
Let's go to our great friend Afton Forward. Afton asks, "Was the path to victory tomorrow? What do these guys need to do? Is it more running the ball? Is it Mason slinging it, or is just what's the defense have to do? How do they win this game?"
Yeah. So here's the thing with I'll start with the defense first. Here's the thing: if the pass rush is key to the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? And when that's not working, we often see what happens. The secondary suffers. Don't get me wrong. I love JPJ. And I love what he's doing, and we love that. And Patrick Peterson's being able to float around and play more of a safety role. But we know if TJ and Alex can't get there, it gives the quarterback a confidence to go deep. And that's where we struggle. We're struggling with the health of our linebackers. Shout out to Miles Jack, who came in and played phenomenal for us. Our safeties are limited because Patrick's not out there. So the pass rush has to get there. We already know they need to stop the run. They've been decent at that as of late, so I can't even complain there. But the pass rush is a significant component, Mike Tomlin word right there, of getting the ball back in the offensive hands, getting those 3 and outs. The pass rush has to be on it. And I know we have the guys, we have the talent. Even if you put a Nick Herbig in there, he puts pressure on the guys as well, on the quarterbacks as well. So if the pass rush is doing its thing, we should be good to go. We really should.
So this is not.
I didn't speak on the offense. If you want me to touch on the offense,
Yeah, go ahead.
Offensively. Oh, and also we played a lot of we didn't play a lot of man. We did a lot of zone last week with Cincinnati. So I'll see how they switch it up on defense. But back on the offensive side, I want to see a little bit more of the tight ends being used. I think we got Darnell Washington 1 catch, Pat Farming nothing. I don't think Connor had a catch as well. So I'd like to see a little bit more of the tight ends involved. The run game is solid. I think we continue with that. Even some short passes. One of my favorite passes was the 3rd and 5 pass to Jaylen Warren, just to help bail out Mason. So some more of the end in the middle of the field things I would like to see from the offense.
Fantastic. So this is not a question, but you're getting some love from Ireland.
Ireland, yeah, we'll be. I don't know when, but the Steelers will be coming to Ireland to play. So,
that's going to happen.
It's happening. It's in the works.
Let's see. Dave Schofield, I mentioned him earlier. He usually follows that kind of stuff. He's projecting either 24 or 25 for that. I think it's in the next 2 years. Let's go ahead.
Sure. For sure. Like, no, there's no doubt. I can't say, but there's no doubt it's coming in the next 2 years.
So the next guy I'm going to bring up, this is a special guy to me because it's Claude Bishop. I was at Alito's Pizza 2 years ago, and Claude came up to me and said, "Hey, I know you from I know you from your show." And that's so awesome. Claude always follows he and his lovely wife, very nice people. D, why did you think that the Steeler fans were rude for calling for Mason, or do you feel it was rude calling for Mason?
Okay, so let me explain 2 things. The situation with Mason was it happened while Alex Highsmith was down we were in an injury timeout. And that's when the crowd decided to yell for Mason Rudolph. It just was an inappropriate time. One of your guys is injured on the field. You need to make sure he's okay, make sure they can hear whatever they need, and you just be respectful. So at that particular clip that a lot of people were paying attention to, that happened while Alex Highsmith was pretty much getting lifted up off the field. But I'll never be a supporter of like the Matt Canada firing chance. Like, when Mitch was out there calling for Kenny, like I just feel like it causes division because the media takes that and goes in the locker room and asks the guys, did you hear it? Like, what do you think about it? And that's why I don't like it, because it doesn't just stay there. It leads on to other things.
Very good. Big E Bronco, who is a Broncos fan, by the way, but a very respectful member of our audience here. We see Big E all the time. And Big E says, what do you guys think about what's going on with Russell Wilson? I think he's crying over spilled milk. If the Broncos can ask Peyton Manning for a cut, a true Hall of Fame quarterback, why not him? And there's also been rumors of the Steelers being in the mix for Russell Wilson as well.
Yeah. I think it's inappropriate. I think the let me just say, shout out to Russell Wilson's team, his PR team, that kept this close hold. This is obviously something that's been going on for a while. And if it were me, I'd be like, we are immediate. As soon as this happened, and it was October, I would have been like, we're going online. We're letting people know that this is what's happened to you. But for them to be able to play chess and keep this close hold and wait until this time to unload this information, shout out to them, because I don't have that kind of patience. However, I do think it's upsetting and it's wrong, because you offered this man a contract. The portion of his contract that is guaranteed is the injury clause. So you're not willing to protect this man. Players have to go out there. They're not playing in this league for a long time. If you gave him a contract, if you said you were going to give him guaranteed money, give him the guaranteed money. I don't think it's fair.
Very good. And what are your thoughts on the possibility of seeing him in black and gold? And that could be next season.
I don't know. I am not against it. But I would like to see, I think there's going to be a change in the quarterback room for sure in Pittsburgh. I don't know how much a Russell Wilson would cost. I don't know at what level he would be. Is he QB1? Is he QB2? Is there a competition? That would be interesting. I'm not 100% against it, but I would have to see how things play out with that. I don't know. I'm open, but I don't know. I have to see some stuff.
Let's go to Afton Ford. This isn't really a question, but I'd like you to comment on her comment. JPJ will have his hands full with DK. Not sure he's ready for him.
Look, JPJ has been up against some superior talent, and I really don't think he's been improving week after week. I think we can't say DK is, I call him a specimen. He's a specimen all on his own, but there is a plan here. JPJ is going to go out there and run his mouth and try to get DK to react. We saw that with the 49ers, right? Or was it the 49ers that went in there and was just like, look, whoever can go in there and get him the snap, like, let's go. Let's rock that. There was a joke. I don't know if that was true. Kyle Shanahan did, but people are going to be poking at DK all the time. And I think JPJ has the confidence to go in there and get him, maybe off his toes, but he has to be up for the challenge. And we know he's a little handsy. That's what it is. So as long as he's careful with that, I think it'll be a good little competition there. He's proven.
Aren't they all handsy though?
Well, I think JPJ is a little bit more. First year out of college, the rules are a little different. I know a lot of guys are, but the constant PI calls on JPJ is going to draw attention to him. So as long as he's, careful, but he's going to still be him. He's going to still play his game. I think the Steelers will allow, a flag or two here or whatever, as long as it's not helping them getting the, actual end zone where they're down in the red zone. You can't be doing it then, but I think.
All right. I'm going to go off topic here since we're talking JPJ. Who's more exciting to watch? JP or JPJ? Joey Porter?
Joey Porter. Like, who's that? Okay, JP.
Senior or junior?
Because like as you know, I don't remember you watching Joey Porter from when he played, and then Joey Porter when he was on the sidelines, coaching. He was so exciting to watch as a coach. But seeing JPJ just be this kind of light and fire in the secondary where we're struggling, like we're struggling there. I love watching JPJ. I love watching the maturity. I love the fact that he's been around for so long, this organization, and just sprouting. I really have a thing for the young guys, so I'm gonna go with JPJ.
All right, here we go. This is an interesting one. This is kind of a comment, but I'd like you to comment on this. It's Trey. Nobody mentions how Colbert set this organization back after drafting Kenny, signing Mitch, and not drafting Jackson in 2018 after he fell into their laps and instead drafted Mason later. What do you think about that?
Um, yeah. Look, I think how do I say this nicely? And it's not the Mac. I mean, Kevin Colbert's been there for a long time, and I think you can look at a lot of different things. Everyone's always saying, "Why do we draft Reggie Bush?" or "Why do we draft Edmonds?" Like you can go to every draft class and look at something that they should have done. I know there's a lot of teams that wish they should have gotten Lamar Jackson. Looking at what he's able to do, but I mean, I don't know. I can't say he's the culprit for everything, but he's done some amazing things, and he's done some gotten some players for nothing that's have helped us. I mean, he was involved with getting Minka Fitzpatrick, and some of these things kind of like level out, to me. But I understand the quarterback position is very hard, especially when you have a veteran like Ben who wasn't even happy with Mason. Like, do you think he would have embraced a Lamar Jackson? Like, I don't know. I don't even know. So, but I can't say he's to blame for everything. But look, everybody has a little bit of responsibility.
That's very true. A shout out to somebody that we haven't seen in a long time here, or at least I haven't seen. Just me. Hey, folks, miss seeing you bad. Hey, it's great to see you, Just Me. It's we have a nice family here at.
I love it. I love it. Hi, everybody.
So we are going to go ahead and take a break. Go ahead and throw in some more questions in. We'll be back right after this. Stick around. It's Steel Curtain Network. It is the Q&A, and it's December 30th. Big game tomorrow. I am pumped. Stick around. We'll be back right after this. All right, we are back. It's Steel Curtain Network. It is the Q&A. My name is Bryan Anthony Davis. D-Love Sports is with us, a very talented content creator that you can see on, is it hashtag D-Loves Coffee? Is that the show on Spaces?
The show is called Sports and Coffee. So it's sports, the letter N, coffee, and underscore. You can come join us Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Twitter Spaces. So me, my co-host, I have Tip, he also hosts with me, and Arati as well. And we're like a big family, like similar to you guys. And we talk about all the sports. So not just Steelers, football, basketball is heavy in our spaces. So come join us there. And you can find me on D-Love Sports if you're having trouble finding Sports and Coffee. It'll be in my bio.
All right, fantastic. Now, we were talking about the family that is our live chat and our listeners here. Did you like the music that you just heard? Because I saw you bobbing your head a little bit.
Yeah, look, I like a little bit of everything. I don't have just one particular type of music I like. So yeah, I'm cool.
That is Jerry Cherry Band. That is the Jerry Cherry Band. Jerry Cherry has given us all of those. He has been one of our live chat standards for years. So shout
Good
out.
stuff, Jerry.
we do it. He's not on the show right now, but we I guess we get all involved with everybody gets involved with this.
I love it. That's a good family.
So Joseph Brown says today, I guess it's my new favorite show. So there you go.
Awesome.
let's see what else we have here. As I'm looking through, I should have been doing this a little bit better. So while I'm looking for, here we go, Thomas Riley. Can you see Mason earning the starting quarterback job for next season?
For what team?
That's a good question. He's saying the Steelers.
I don't see that right now. I'll just say that I don't see that right now. One game is not enough for me to say that they move on from Kenny Pickett. I'm sorry, not yet.
I will agree with you on that. I don't think it as well. I think right now the Mason Rudolph has won a job with this team. And I think this team could feel very comfortable with him as a primary backup for next season. But I don't really think that he's going to be the starter. I think we need to curb our enthusiasm a little bit and see what he does. Now, if he goes nuts in a great way the next couple of weeks, then you start thinking about outside the box. But right now, I don't think so. So as we're waiting for a few more questions, I'm going to let's talk about the holidays real quick.
Yeah,
And
sure.
whatever it is you celebrate, did you receive? I see that you're a Jersey person.
I got a couple. Just a couple.
Yeah, I have a few too. I'm known for like odd jerseys too. As I have my Dermontti Dawson, as you can see right here
Oh
from
wow.
they only wore that twice in 1994. So so did you receive any holiday gifts?
I did.
Pittsburgh Steeler
My friend
oriented.
Carol, she gave me a Steelers hat. And I got some. I actually haven't opened all my gifts from Christmas. They're still just sitting on my tree. I casually open one, like, makes me feel like I'm getting gifts like throughout, just not the whole one day, but throughout the whole December. My birthday is in the beginning of January, and typically people just say, "Oh, you got everything for Christmas. Forget about your birthday." So this year, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna make it feel like I'm getting gifts throughout my birthday too. So I
Very
did. I got a Steelers hat. I got a portable speaker, a lovely portable speaker, and I'll be getting some more stuff delivered. So I'm excited. I got some stuff. What about you? What you get?
I tell you
No,
what,
this is your show. I'm asking you questions.
I always get no, that's okay. We're a Steelers family here. I got one of the most unique gifts I've ever received that
Uh-huh.
that were from the Steelers. And it's you see it right here. It is
Oh, stadium. No, that's okay. Yeah, I see
it's an
the little
Acrisure Stadium bread, I guess a bread plate.
a little tray or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
bread
so
tray.
cute. That
So
is
it's
adorable.
I thought that was neat. I received some very good friends of ours that they they're actually Browns fans and they're Ohio State fans, but they
Mm.
gave my son an Ohio State hat. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I'm letting him wear it.
They lost yesterday, right?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
only scored 3 points against Missouri, but Marvin Harrison didn't play. I'm not sure. Well, their quarterback transferred, so that's a program
A
trying to
lot of
figure
that going
everything out.
on. Yeah.
I for my birth now my birthday's in December,
Okay.
December 3rd, and my daughter was really proud. She got me a Zubaz Steelers hat. And
Uh-huh.
if
I mean,
you remember that crazy pattern that they wore in the 90s, that people wore in the 90s. Uh,
my dad has that leather, the leather helmet with the holes on it, like the covers your ears.
that's awesome.
I love the I love that hat.
So
Back in the day before they had real helmets.
what's the craziest Steelers gift you ever received?
I don't know. I don't know if it's been crazy. I don't think I've had a crazy one.
I
Yeah, I don't
once
think
got a crocheted Steelers fly swatter as a gift.
that's a little odd. I don't know. It's a little
I
odd.
still have it somewhere.
Yeah. Crocheted fly sweater.
Yeah,
How do you even use that?
I I never did. It was just I think it was for a decoration. I'm not sure what it is. My mom and sister, they'll buy you whatever. As
They
long as
see
it says
Steelers on it,
Steelers
like, I
on it.
gotta get it. There are people
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
I just hope they don't make a Steelers enema kit or anything like that because they'll probably wrap it up for me, I'm sure. Um, so
That's funny. That probably went over people's heads too. So that's good.
we're talking about special birthdays, and there was a very special birthday in Steeler Nation this week, and I don't know if
Terrible Towel turned what?
48.
Okay. Okay.
So you have a lot of jerseys. My question to
Mhm.
you is, do you have a lot of terrible towels?
I've actually acquired 2 this year. I always keep them. They're all over the place. I know I have one in the laundry room. I have a couple in my suitcase. I gave ones to my godson. So I have about maybe like 5 terrible towels, plus the little pink ones that are around here somewhere. So I think I have like 2 or 3 pink ones. So 8. So yeah, I have a collection. I don't keep them all in one spot. I don't even know if I have one up here. Nope. But yeah, I have some gloves. I have gloves from whose gloves are those? Oh, I have James Pierre's gloves from when he had his first interception with the
Wow.
Pittsburgh Steelers. I have those, and he signed them. And I also have some gloves from Akilla Witherspoon when he was on the team last year. So
How'd
shout out
you
to Akilla.
receive? They just hand them to you, or
I feel like I don't remember Akillo's, but I don't know how. I think maybe Akilla did give them to me. I don't remember how I got Akillo's, but I do remember James Pierre gave me his, and he was just like, I got my first interception with these. And I was like, yeah. So after the game, he came over. He's like, I gotta sign them. So he signed them. So I have them. Let me see.
did you know him, or was that just
No,
he
it just
just came up to you?
happened. I don't know if you could see it. James
Yeah,
Pierre. Yeah.
yeah, we can see that.
Well, that's a
That's
cool
wow.
gift. Mhm.
Those are interesting. What material are they? Are they like a
These are like
vinyl?
a
Oh, they're Nike.
rubbery. Yeah, they're Nike. They're like a rubbery. I kept them because I was like, I don't want the signs to run off, but these are pretty cool. Pretty
Wow,
cool.
that's
First
pretty
interception.
awesome.
And then these are the ones. Sorry. These are the Akilla gloves. He had his fingers taped up, I guess.
Oh
So I
wow,
think
that's awesome.
these are awesome. These are pretty cool, right?
Yeah, those are really cool.
Yeah.
Now I need a pair. Nobody, players don't give me stuff. The only
I don't remember the Akilla one. I don't know how I got them. I really don't. I guess it just gave them to me, but I don't remember. But James, I think it was so special because it was his first interception. I think it was a Denver Broncos game. In the end, he made that play at the very end of the game and got that interception to kind of seal
wow,
it for us. Yeah.
that's awesome. The only thing I've
Mhm.
ever received at an event was at 30 years ago at a Duran Duran concert. They Simon LeBon gave me the set list because
Okay.
I was in the
Hey,
front
what's
row.
wrong with that?
I don't know why, but I don't even know why I'm bringing that up. But it was in Pittsburgh, so and that what's funny? That was the day that Rod Woodson had the breakout, the MVP type game against New Orleans Saints when he had 2 touchdowns.
What
So
year was that? Good Lord.
93.
93. Okay. Yeah.
So this is the terrible towel I'm going to be using tomorrow. If you can see right there,
Super Bowl.
it was the win over the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl, so I'm going to be
Mhm.
waving that one tomorrow.
Mhm.
My favorite terrible
Yeah.
towel, though, this is from Super Bowl 14. My parents went to the game.
Oh, nice.
So,
I love it. You got how many turbo dogs do you own?
uh, probably not as many as you would think. I probably have about 15.
Well, you have that's a lot. That is a lot
But
of towels.
but jerseys, I have probably about 40 or 50.
Okay. I don't even people
So,
ask me all the time, how many do you have? I'm like, I don't know. I have
I
some more, in another room and I don't know. I don't know how many jerseys I have.
I don't remember, I don't even remember anymore. I don't even count.
Yeah, I don't. I just, if I remember, I put them on the rack with the rest of them and, whatever. This one is actually signed. I had a goal one year to get Minka Fitzpatrick to sign my jersey, and I had it. I had a friend. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get Minka to sign it, and I somehow between the tailgate and the stadium, I lost the jersey. So I got there. My friend's like, "You have your jersey? I'm gonna have Minka come over and sign it." And I'm like, I don't have it. So, but I was still able to a couple weeks later get him. I had to buy a new jersey, had to get and got him to sign it. So this is my pride and joy right here. I worked really hard for that autograph.
That is incredible. That's awesome. I'm going to bring up Dave Schofield again.
Hi, Dave.
Just talking about the quarterback conundrum here. Y'all remember in 1999 when the Bills rested Doug Flutie, the last week and started Rob Johnson, then started him in the playoffs instead and lost. Yeah, that's true. Now, one of the reasons I think that was the Music City Miracle that they lost
Mm,
in that game. But yeah, sometimes you don't really want to go against. You want to bring your quarterback back in when he's healthy, but you never know what's going to happen.
you never
Um,
do. It's true.
Mark Tobin mentions can he lose his confidence, and he is not the guy. And there's been so much talk about Kenny Pickett the guy this year, can he not be the guy. Question to you is Kenny Pickett the guy?
I think Kenny Pickett is the guy until they say a couple things until he plays like he's not the guy, and then two till it's time to get paid. So I think that's where you kind of really have to define when it's time to pay the guy or extend the guy or whatever it is. When money comes involved, and then you'll be able to lay all those things out. But I think he's going to be the guy for the Pittsburgh Steelers going into the next season, unless something crazy happens. So I don't know what drafting position they'll absolutely have, but something crazy happens or they trades. I'm not putting anything past Omar and Andy, but right now he appears to be the guy, and well, I'll roll with that. But I'm not putting anything past Omar and Andy going into this draft, going into free agency. So we'll see. You saw what they did with the O line. They got good guys in and out. So I don't know.
Are you worried about the future of the Steelers retaining Andy as an Andy Weidel?
Yeah, of course. I think so. I think him and Omar have worked well together. And there are going to be GM opportunities out there. You're always going to have that opportunity when guys do well, and people get upset at that. Like, oh, how come they couldn't? Like, you want someone to go and do better. And even I want to bring up Brian Flores, for example. People got upset because the Steelers let him go. I'm like, the Steelers did the man a favor, right? They created a role for him to bring him in for his expertise. Nobody was going to touch Brian Flores. He's mostly with the NFL. Like, he was, kind of like damaged goods. So they brought him in, and he got a job somewhere. They weren't gonna put him at a defensive coordinator. They probably weren't going to increase his salary next year or anything like that. So they put him in a good position to move on. And sometimes people just get the opportunity to move on, and you got to just let them do that. So, just like there's guys on the field, they get hurt. What's up? Next man up. You just gotta, you can't hold on to people forever. Just don't work like that.
Yeah, Dave Schofield and I agree with this spot on about Flores. Afton
Yeah.
Fored just says here's someone who's already eyeing him as a GM. Yes, it's the Washington Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
Or
The Commanders. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
they are rumored to be wow.
If Eric Bieniemy wants to come, he's more than welcome to come to Pittsburgh. Open arms if he. Look, Kansas City might be calling him to come back.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, that's very interesting that you bring that up because that offense hasn't been the same without Eric
It has
Bieniemy.
not.
So let's talk about
Mm-mm.
the game again tomorrow, and we're going to see some familiar faces on the other side of the ball. And
Yeah.
it is going to be Devin Bush and Artie Burns, both number one
Mhm.
picks. One is a whole lot classier than the other, and that is Artie Burns. And
You haven't heard much from Artie. Yeah, you haven't heard
Artie's
much
a
from
class
Artie.
act. And then there's
Mhm.
Devin Bush when he's not dangling cats. He's sending out crazy emojis when the Steelers lose. He thinks this is a
Is
revenge
he?
game.
That's
Oh
I
yeah.
have not seen that. That's what he's been doing.
When
Really?
they lost against the Colts, he put about like 8 to 10 laughing emojis out there, and
Wow, I did
he's
not know that.
he's considering this a revenge game. So my question to you,
Okay.
D, is when you have the when he wasn't retained for a reason, and he wasn't fired, he wasn't cut, but when he wasn't retained, is there a reason for him to be calling this a revenge game for him?
So they didn't pick up his option year, correct?
No, they did
And
not.
yeah, and um, yeah, I think there was a lot in with the fans. I mean, people don't. I don't think people consider some of the things that the fans do and contribute to some of the things that happen with these guys. Like even I believe it was Miles Kilbrew that said that he was getting death threats because of a play that he made on special teams or didn't make or whatever. I think it was like a penalty committed, and I think people don't consider how those things weigh on how they feel about the team as a whole. Like it's not just the individuals. They probably have respect for their teammates, right? Or coaches and stuff like that. But as the whole fandom as a whole, it's just like I want to get back at you guys because of how you treated me when you felt I underperformed. And I think people forget about the human aspect of playing the game. So I'm okay with anybody like especially guys like Kendrick Green and how people talk so mean about him. And when you get an opportunity to kind of stick it to the fan base of that treated you so poorly when you were there for whatever reason, I don't have a problem with that. Like go out there, let it motivate you. But the Steelers just got to be ready to you know do what they're supposed to do and win that game. And I don't have a problem with him feeling like he needs to get revenge or make a play and make people realize like I am a talent. And I don't have an issue with it.
Spy Guy makes a comment. I don't think GP going to be so open this week coming. What are your
Okay.
thoughts on George Pickens and that breakthrough game? Was
I
that a
think it was
statement
awesome.
game or was
I
it just
think,
go ahead?
yeah, I think it was a lot of things. I think it was not just a statement game from George. I feel like George did the things that we know we could do. We know he could make miraculous catches. We've seen it before. But the consistency is something that we hadn't seen. And I thought it was awesome. I thought it was awesome for Mason. And I thought it was awesome for George. I thought it was awesome for the team. Just all the scrutiny that had been going around on national media, not just Steelers media and Steelers Twitter, but national media, the attention it was getting was just really to calm that all down. And I love that. And that's how you do it. That's how you calm everybody down. You shut everybody up. You go out there and you play your game. However, yes, I would love to see Deontay Johnson get the ball as well. We did see Calvin Austin get the ball. I think everybody touched the ball. We had Allen Robinson. I want to see that. We had Allen Robinson. We even had Miles Boykin touch the ball. Again, Pat Fryermuth and Connor Hayward were two guys I don't think that got any catches, but I do think we'll see more of the same of everybody kind of getting their hands on the ball.
On Wednesday night, I had an opportunity to check out your show on YouTube,
Mhm.
and one of the big questions was who is the team MVP, and there were
Yeah.
two names that came up big time. One that you would expect, and another that is outside of the box. But I actually agree with this one as well.
Mhm.
Who are your thoughts on who is the team MVP, and can you bring up both of those gentlemen?
Okay, so yeah, I love this question because although we're not at the end of this season, but I think we've played a significant amount of games to just kind of open it up to talk about who are the MVPs on this team. And on one side, I think TJ Watt is the guy that stands out because when you just need a spectacular defensive play, he just seems to be there. He just seems to make it happen. TJ Watt is just him. But on the other end, on the opposite side, who's been that for the offense has been Jaylen Warren. So Jaylen Warren, to me, I would push for the team's MVP. He's just been like just a breakout phenomenon for the Steelers. I'm not saying he wasn't good last year because he wasn't. I don't think he got shown enough there of what he's capable of. But I mean, the man has just been able to get the extra yards, push this team, and keep this team on the field. And blocking for the quarterback, he's in there every third down. He's either going to block or just rescue you from being able to dump it to him real quick and get that first down. So I just think Jaylen has done some really special things for this team. So I struggle with it because TJ also makes phenomenal plays and can get those turnovers and strip sacks and back a team up. But Jalen has been phenomenal too. So it's a tough one. I think people like TJ a little bit more, but hey, it's hard for me to choose.
Okay, 2007 was the last time that the Steelers offered a running back a second contract, and it was Veron Haynes.
Mm-hmm.
True or false? Jalen Warren will be the first Pittsburgh Steelers running back to be offered a second contract when it's his time.
So we're gonna skip over Najee.
Yeah, that
Let's see. Okay. It's gonna depend on the price because let me tell you something. With Jalen Warren, there's gonna be a lot of teams throwing a lot of money at Jalen. So that is going to be the tough part with Jalen. If they are able to compete with money. And I know the running back market isn't top tier, but the Steelers can't be cheap, and they are cheap on offense. We know that, and so it's gonna come down. It's gonna come down to I think they're gonna try. I think they're gonna make an attempt, and they have to, and they may pick up Najee's fifth year option, is it, or whatever the option year is for
yes.
him, but. It's the money. The money is going to be the factor. What Jalen's team is coming to the table with and what they want. I don't know. Don't wait. Don't wait too long, though. That's all my only advice, and that was my advice with Alex Highsmith. Don't wait, because the price is just going to go up. The running backs are already making a case for themselves, so don't wait too long.
Dave Schofield stealing my thunder because this is next on my list. This is what I was planning for you, and it is who wins the Joe Green Performance Award as the best rookie. This is the first time in a long time that I could actually say that there's three guys that I would probably go ahead and give consideration to. And there's been years that, my goodness, back in 2008, Patrick Bailey, an undrafted free agent rookie, an undrafted rookie, went ahead and won that award. You could even talk about if this was any other year, you could actually give Nick Herbig the award, and you're not going to this year. You're not going to give it.
It would be like
to
a 3.5. But there's like, are your three my three? Like, are your three Benton and JPJ and Broderick? Are those your three?
Those are my three.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
If D gets a vote, who's D voting for? Now I'm putting you on the spot.
So, okay, I'm basing this off one play and only one play. And it's in the Ravens game. The interception by JPJ pretty much like solidified a lot. Like, it saved the Steelers from losing that game. So if it's just off the one play alone, nothing else, a divisional win against the Baltimore Ravens, where you guys were struggling all game for the most part, he comes up big. So that play alone, I would give my vote to JPJ. This is nothing against Benton. This is nothing against Broderick. Just off that one play, that was just spectacular in the end zone.
I am going to go ahead and agree with you there. Now I'm going to up the ante. I'm going to make it tough on you, D.
Okay.
Now, let's go ahead and flash forward to 2033. When we look back at this draft, which of those three is the most important draft pick from this class? That's almost an impossible question.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you look at Javon Hargrave, I say his name, Hargrave, and what he was for the Eagles and for the 49ers now. Like, and we had him, like we let him walk. And you could say he was a great pickup in his draft class. And he's gone on to make a lot of money in other places. Went to a Super Bowl last year, right? So it's so hard. I just say that because at his position, like you never know. Like you got three different positions here. You just don't know. It's so hard to tell.
So are you agreeing with? So are you hinting towards what Dave Schofield says? He's going with Keanu Benton.
Yeah, I mean, it's really gonna be on your longevity and availability. Benton has played very well, and I think you can see his potential. And but you can like Project Two. Like I that's so hard. I don't know.
Hey, and it could be,
Longevity, maybe I'll do Benton and Broderick. I'm not like I don't know. I don't know. That's tough.
and it's
That's,
funny. The fourth guy, Nick Herbig, is a
oh
guy that
man,
you could actually put in that equation too. He's that good.
he is
So,
awesome.
what a
And he
great
can
first
play
round.
either side. You can put him in either side. He's awesome. He's I even watching him on the sidelines when he's not on the field. He's trying to get the crowd engaged when the defense is out there. I love him. I love his energy.
Benton and Herbig are great with the kids after the game in the parking lot.
Oh, that's awesome.
Benton
Rookies
Benton took a
are like
picture with my
rookies
nephew.
typically are, and that I have, like I told you, I have a special place in my heart for the young guys. Mark Robinson was like one of my Jalen and Mark Robinson. I love them both. Like I still call Jalen when I see him little brother because like I just felt like they're like I feel like they're my babies. I'm the weird one. I'm like you're my little baby. I just have it, but the rookies typically are. If you ever go to a game and you go, was it to the Steelers parking lot? The rookies are the new guys on the team. The veterans don't even park out there. They usually park, under in the gate or whatever. But they're typically sweet. So take advantage. Take your kids out there and take advantage of that.
My nephew got a selfie with Keanu Benton
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
Herbig, both of those because they were best friends back in college, these two guys.
Mhm.
And they were running around, they were playing the entire crowd. Well, it's time to get on out of here, but it's the big
That's
question.
good.
Here's the big question. I've got to put you on the spot. Steelers and Seattle Seahawks. When we wake up in 2024, are we talking about a 40-year drought continuing in Seattle? Or are we talking about the end of the drought and the Pittsburgh Steelers needing a win in Baltimore to make the playoffs?
I'm gonna go with what I want. I want them to have a win in Seattle. I want the conversation. I mean, depending, of course, they need help. They need help and they need to win games to get into the playoffs. And I'm not even open to talking about playoffs until the Seattle game is over. But I do want the win, so I'm going to say yes. I want the win in Seattle.
Is it too much to ask for a final score?
I don't have it yet. I won't have it until tomorrow morning. It just kind of like sits in my belly. But I am hoping that the Steelers do score over 20 points. You know, that's been our nemesis for a while, 21 points to be exact. It's been really difficult. And they did it last week. And I'm hoping that they do it again. So something over 20 for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Where
So
can we find that prediction, D?
it'll be everywhere. So I usually post it in the mornings before the games. Instagram, D Love Sports, Twitter, D Love Sports, YouTube, D Love Sports. It will be everywhere as soon as I finish filming it, I put it out there for the masses. So you'll see my prediction tomorrow.
All right, I'm going to bring up a final comment. Great show. Buy pizzas and watch the game, says Spy Guy.
Hey, okay. All
Spy
right.
Guy has a pizza avatar there, so he either sells pizza or loves pizza.
I don't know if you guys have a pizza sponsor, but Giovanni's, okay. Downtown Giovanni's, that's my spot.
well, go ahead and sell them for us. Let
Yeah,
them know that.
you got the same colors. Like it goes, man. Best pizza out there. Order US pizza from Giovanni's.
Okay, Kathy for it. We've heard from Afton. Hey, Kathy. Kathy says, great to meet you, D. Thanks for coming on. We win.
Great to meet you as well, Kathy. I had a great time. Thank you guys. You guys are so nice. We need to get, when we do the Steelers Shot Live, we're arguing, somebody wants the coach fired. Y'all are real nice over here.
Oh, I can tell you, we get feisty. Trust me.
Okay.
I'm not going to say we don't. All right.
I love everybody though. I love everyone.
This is the Q&A. D, thanks so much. We're definitely going to have you on Steel Curtain Network again. It was a pleasure hanging out with you. We went long today, but the reason we go long is when it's a lot of fun. We definitely have to go long. So D, thank you so much. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes. Happy New Year, everybody.
and we will be talking to you soon. For
Okay.
Steel Curtain Network, make sure you check out. Well, coming up, we've got more shows, more original shows. Remember, 25 every single week. Check out tomorrow morning. It's going to drop at 5 a.m. It is Dave Schofield and last minute thoughts before Steelers take on Seattle. Then after the game, you are going to have the Mike Tomlin post-game show recap with Kevin Tate and Big G Sean Gurley. Kevin Tate is back. And then you've got to do the post-game show. Hopefully it is a happy New Year's Eve post-game show as we ring in the new year and hopefully ring in a Steelers win. It's Jeff Hartman, myself, and Dave Schofield as well. We will be there for all of that. For Steel Curtain Network, for D-Love Sports, my name is Bryan Anthony Davis. Just when you think you've got all the answers, we keep changing the questions.
That's awesome.